You guys, welcome to episode 9 of the Big Messy Bun. I am super excited that today is episode 9 and I I've got all the papers, I've got all the thoughts, and I have so much that I want to explode with today. So I'm hoping to contain myself into a 15-minute window. I want to try to keep onto that track, 15-ish, 20-ish minutes, but there's so much to unpack from last week. So much to unpack, and I don't know if I want to spend the whole time unpacking because I just want to keep rolling. So I'm going to unpack a little bit of last week, but we're going to roll really fast into an episode that was inspired by an 86-year-old man. But let's unpack quickly. If you didn't listen, there was an episode 8 on a Saturday last week. So if you are our regular Wednesday listener, go back. You missed it. There was an episode, a bonus episode on Saturday. So go and listen to it. Episode 8 was Jack and I. It's full of nuggets. It's full of laughter. It's full of wisdom. It's full of heartfelt conversation, real conversation with my kid. Like it was a fucking delight. Like I can't put into words how honored I was to have him agree to that and do it so well. Anyways, there's going to be more. Jack wants to come back and I want Jack back and it's going to be a longer episode. We were just getting started and it was wrap up time. So we're going to come back to that. I'm going to share with you something that someone said to me, my niece yesterday. She's like, so if you had a funeral song, like what would you want your funeral song to be? Like, when people carry you out. And I'm like, good Lord, I can't believe we're going here today, but here we are. We're going here. And I said, well, right now I'm really digging the song. What are you waiting for? Nickelback. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I'm going to play a little nugget. Okay. I still don't know the rules on whether I can play someone's audio or not, like their song. So I'm just gonna not play anymore because I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want this episode to be lost because this episode is brought to you by the inspiration of a dude I was chatting with at work yesterday. He's 86 years old. We're gonna call him Leonard. Leonard came up to me a couple of weeks ago actually and shared some really just insightful stuff about life, and he's 86 years old and he's just so full of observation. Like he's observed, he's listened, he's learned, and now he's sharing. So yesterday, the other day, not yesterday, I didn't work yesterday, but whatever, the other day I was finishing teaching class and I was talking about the fact that I share with them stories there too. I share with them stories just like I share here. I shared with them a story about the fact that when I was a little kid and I was always sort of I was told not to talk so much. I was told I talk too much. I was told I move around too much, that I was too much. I felt I heard the words too much a lot as a child. And then even as an adult, I've had people say, calm down, like holy, like you're too much. Or like you need to do less, like you need to slow down in life. And I'm like, something I don't do to people, I don't say to them, you should fucking speed up. You know what? You should get 2 jobs. You know what? You should do this or do that. I don't do that to other people. I'm like, if you are chilling and that's your life and that's good for you, fucking right on. I have learned that I love creating. I love serving. I love my work. I love my family like crazy. I love them so much. And they have watched me work. They have watched me do this. And they've learned from it themselves. So I guess what I'm sharing with you today is I'm 53. I'll be 54 in June. And I can say that I'm finally settling into who the fuck I am. And it took a long time to be able to say that. Like to really feel like I'm figuring out what truly makes me tick, what really lights my soul on fire, what I'm really willing to put up with, and what I am not. Like, really clear. And so I have learned that my work is part of who I am. It's just that I remember years ago I was doing this what's it called? Multi-level marketing business with a company called Body. And they wanted you to find your niche audience, find your niche, whatever you call it. And I was always into fitness, and they were like, no, 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 it can't be that. Like, you got to like find another way to connect. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to connect over? Like, it was just, I felt like I was stifled almost. I didn't even know. And anyways, I just kept showing up as I am, doing what I do. And I ended up just sharing from a fitness place. Well, here I am, 53, and I'm like, oh my God, it is part of who I am, and it is what I love to do. It truly is. But in the last holy shitballs 9 weeks, 9 episodes, have I ever figured out I just love sharing stories, sharing inspiration. I just always did it through my classes. If you attend my classes online, if you've attended in person, there is an electric energy vibe that comes through. And it's a combination of like you're heading to church, maybe you're having a little preacher mode, then you're having a rapper in the corner, singing music and dancing, and then I'm your best friend sitting in there in the gym encouraging you not to give up. All wrapped up in who I am. And so I said this to the guys at work the other day. I was teaching a class of about 30 people. And I just said, guys, it's really neat. I'm settling into who I am. I'm 53 years old. And I really love to talk. And they said, no kidding. And you know what? After class, I went and chatted with one of the gentlemen. And he said, I'm 86 and I don't even know who I am. He said, I acted one way to get through school. Then I acted another way to get through this chapter of, parenting. And then I did this to make sure everyone was happy. And I will say this. When he said that to me, I looked in his eyes and I said, well, I know the version I'm getting to meet. And I pointed out some of his characteristics that I love. He is a total inclusive type of human, meaning he wants everyone to be involved and feel good. He's funny. He's kind. He's so witty. And I shared those things with him. And he said, oh, wow. It was like he had heard it for the first time. And maybe he did. So this episode today is going to be about knowing that you hold the pen in your life. For those on video, I just picked up a pen. It was kind of dramatic. You should go watch. But I picked up the pen. That you are in charge of the rest of the story of your life. Even if it didn't go the way you hoped or planned. Even if there's heartache that you can't reverse. Even if you were hurt badly. You still hold the pen. And you can change how the ending goes. You can reinvent yourself if you wish. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But like every other thing that we ever talk about, it takes time. It takes consistency in that. Like if you're trying to create new habits for yourself, but you hold the pen. And we often think that our family history or our previous lives or whatever is the dictator of all, when in fact, it does shape who we are. Freaking rights it does. How could it not? How could it not. And so when you look at, hang on a second. Oh, good Lord. I hope this is recording. Oh, yes, it is. I thought it was going off and I'm like, did I hit the record button? Anyways, oh shit. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay, you got the pen in your hand. You can change it. So part of what I'm going through right now, part of this podcast, I told you it was going to be real. And I told you I was going to share parts of my journey. I'm in a journey right now of a big chapter of my life, my book, whatever you call it. And it's about finding absolute forgiveness. I didn't know if I was going to go there with you today, but it just feels right that I do. I am trying to find ways to forgive myself for the things I did in the past that I didn't know any better about. I am trying to find forgiveness for the things I might have done or said that hurt people that I didn't mean to hurt. I am going to be really digging deep to find forgiveness. This is hard to get out, but forgiveness for the people or situations that I've been waiting for some sort of apology for. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense that when I think there's a saying, and I know one of you will remember it and write me it, but holding on to anger, hate, frustration, it hurts you more than the other person. Like the other person may not even realize that they hurt you, or they maybe did, and they were operating at the best level of humanness that they could operate at. So if they knew how much they hurt you, I know it's kind of a deep episode. You're like, fucking Wednesday, where the fuck are we going? We're going deep today. So I want to say this, that I have in the past forgave, but I don't know that if I've truly felt it like deep inside of me. And I feel that it's coming. Like I feel this sense of like true calm. And I have to say I was inspired by Jack. We had some private conversations, obviously. We have lots of them prior to our interview last week and then just in life. And he's really inspired me in that way. So, and I'm inspired by other situations and people and books and things that I read. I just know this, that when we carry around that anger, that hurt, that's something that we can't change from the past, and we just bring it up and we regurgitate it and over, and we never look past it and never grow past it. That's why sometimes it's hard to like grow in the same group of people that you might have always hung with, because they want to keep you there for some reason. Like it's like a comfort to keep you there, and you're wanting to like spread your wings and fly and grow and do all these different things. So when I was chatting with Leonard, back to Leonard, and I said that to him, I said, well, here's what what I pointed out, the qualities I am getting to know Leonard at. I'm getting to know Leonard as this 86-year-old dude that lives where I work. I don't know what he did when he was in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, any of that. I'm getting to meet the version of him today. And that doesn't mean anything but like when you meet new people or you go to a new experience, you move to a new city, you change your job, you do these things, you get to bring what parts of you want to bring, and you can let go of the things you don't want to anymore. So it's a lot about kind of like letting yourself off the hook for things that you don't have the control over. Or even the things that you do that you just know you can't handle anymore. You just can't take that path. You can't do that any longer. I didn't think this was going to be such a, I almost feel emotional sharing here with you guys today. And I'm gonna find a way to bring it in and get you excited about this because like the Nickelback song says, it talks about like what are you waiting for? Like are we waiting for something tragic to happen to make us change, or maybe something tragic did happen and we're just stuck there? I don't know. Like we're all so different, right? We don't know. I know though for myself that I could sometimes just stay in a space and identify as that space forever and ever and ever, even though I've evolved so much out of that person. So, anyways, I am going to bring this in, and I'm going to bring it in such a way that hopefully leaves you feeling like, you know what, I'm going to do this too. And part of it is taking out paper and pen and taking stock. Like take stock of some of the things. You know, maybe there's some people out there that you're carrying a little ick in your heart or something, and you need to just pray for them, do whatever you do to let it go. It might be part of it. Maybe there's something you've done that you need to reach out to somebody and connect with and make amends. I am going to share one more story that this is truly something that happened to me. And I'm not going to get into great details because I don't want to. I never asked this person if I could share their identity, but I had a person, let's just say in my past, that hurt me in a way. And about 20, 30 years went by, maybe ish. So I was like I'm going to say I was between 15 and 30. I'm going to give you that ballpark so you guys can't figure out too much who I'm talking about. And some of you are like, we don't fucking know. Doesn't matter. The matter is this person apologized to me for something they did. And it was so heartfelt. And even though it didn't like destroy my life or anything, it wasn't like a life altering thing. It was a hurtful event. And when that person reached out, it was so healing for both of us. So maybe I leave that with you this week, that you work on that. I don't know. I really the joy I want out of this podcast and the rhythm of it all and the honesty of it all means that not every episode is going to be a cookie cutter, explosive, like I'm going to jump and, climb a mountain episode. This is definitely an episode that's going to make you think a little bit. And I know for myself, I'm going to be stopping the episode, and then I might feel a little bit like, was I too heavy on them? But you know what? This is real Katey. And these are the real thoughts that I'm having. I also want to let you know, though, this whole rewriting of your life is truly like in your hands. And maybe you're listening to this and you're like my age. Maybe you're in your 50s and you're like, it's too late. Let Leonard be a reminder it's not too late. So he's 86 years old, and we're going to continue our conversations to see how he's doing with figuring out who he is. He's going on a journey. He's going to try to figure this out. And it's not like we have to figure out and it be finite. Like it's not like it's not like you have to be exactly one thing and it ends there. It's infinite. Like it just goes on and on. Like it doesn't have to be just one thing. Anyways, I'm kind of feeling deep today. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I want to remind you to just let yourself off the hook. There's times in your life when you're just feeling like overwhelmed and why did this happen to me? I have my little rock to remind me, what is this here to teach me? And maybe ask yourself that question a little more often. And as far as like for me, at this place in my life where I'm really settling into who I am. It's about trusting myself. And I trust that I'm around the 15-minute mark. I also trust that this podcast is going to evolve the way it's going to. And this is one of those episodes that's going to leave you feeling like, I'm going to think about this. And I hope you take action on it, because it feels really good when you start. I just feel very calm, like I said, and I'm excited and calm all at once in this creative process of this podcast. And I want to deliver to you guys some real good quality listening. So, this is your Wednesday reminder to go out, be awesome, eat something green, take a good shit. My studio looks right at my bathroom. And let yourself off the hook, friends.